Welcome back to the channel Teust USA Coins, where we explore rare finds, hidden gems, and shocking values of everyday coins you might just have in your pocket right now. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing coins in American history, the 1981 D. Roosevelt dime. And believe me, you're going to want to watch this until the very end, because guess what? One of these dimes, yes, a 10-cent coin, has been rumored to be valued at over $654 million in the collector's world. Sounds crazy, right? But hold on, because this story has twists, legends, rare minting errors, and a market frenzy that will blow your mind. So grab your magnifying glass, check that old change jar, and let's uncover why the 1981 D. Roosevelt dime is making headlines, causing bidding wars, and potentially turning lucky pocket change into life-changing fortune. Section 1. Background and history. Let's take it back to the beginning. The Roosevelt dime was first issued in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. He wasn't just any president, he led the US through the Great Depression and most of World War II, and he was also a key advocate for the March of Dimes, which helped fight polio. So it made perfect sense to honor him with a coin that would circulate every single day in the hands of Americans. Fast forward to 1981. Ronald Reagan had just taken office, MTV was about to launch, and the US Mint was cranking out billions of coins, including the now famous 1981 D. Roosevelt dime. The D. The mint mark means it was minted in Denver, Colorado. And while at first glance, this dime may look just like the others you've seen 1,000 times before, coin collectors know that not all dimes are created equal. Section 2. Mystery and rarity. So what makes this dime special? Well, in the world of numismatics, that's the fancy word for coin collecting, errors and anomalies are everything. A dime with a misprint, an off-center strike, a rare mint mark, or even the wrong composition can skyrocket in value. In the case of the 1981 D. Roosevelt dime, several versions have popped up over the years with highly unusual features. We're talking off-metal strikes, dimes minted on planchets meant for pennies, or foreign coins double-die errors, where the image or lettering appears double due to a mistake in the minting process. Full band strikes, where the torch bands on the reverse are perfectly struck, a mark of quality and rarity. Proof strikes mixed into circulation, meaning coins that should have never been released to the public somehow ended up in pockets and drawers across the country. And here's where the story gets wild. There are rumors, yes, from verified collector circles, of a 1981 D dime with an off-metal strike, struck on a foreign silver planchette, featuring both double-die elements and a misaligned dice strike. A unicorn of the coin world. And one such coin reportedly sold at a secretive private auction for a jaw-dropping $654 million. That's right. $654 million. For a dime. Section 3. What collectors look for. So how do you know if your 1981 D dime is one of the valuable ones? Here are the exact things you should look for. Mint mark. Make sure you see the D below the year 1981 on the obverse side of the coin. That stands for Denver Mint. Condition. A coin in a mint state condition, meaning it has no wear and retains its original luster, is always worth more. Errors. Look for doubling in the words liberty, or in God we trust. Check the edge for reading inconsistencies. Weight. A normal dime weighs about 2.27 grams. If your coin is off significantly, it might be struck on the wrong planchette. Reverse side detail. The torch and olive branch should be crisp and clear. If you see full bands, that could boost value dramatically. Professional graders and auction houses like PCGS and NGC have authenticated rare versions of this coin, some selling for tens of thousands. But the ultra-rare, million-dollar versions? Those are mythical, whispered about in collector forums and old auction catalogs. Section 4. Market value and collector frenzy. Now let's talk numbers. An average 1981 D. Roosevelt dime in circulated condition. Worth about 10 cents, maybe a bit more to collectors, but a pristine, MS67 or higher grade dime with rare features. You're looking at values between $3,000 and $10,000. One with full bands and a clean, mirror-like finish. That can fetch $25,000 to $50,000 or more depending on demand. But remember that $654 million dime. The one that set the coin world on fire? If that auction sale is true, and insiders insist it is, then we are talking about the single most valuable dime in the world. Imagine finding that in a parking meter or laundry machine. Section 5. Real-life stories and legends. Stories
ਉਹਨਾਂ
of lucky
ਕੱਪੜੇ ਤੇ
finds
ਦਸਤਾਨੇ
are
ਆਪਾਂ ਜਾ
everywhere.
ਸੇ ਬਾਜ਼ਾਰ
Like the Florida man who found a rare dime in a jar of old coins left by his grandfather. Or the Colorado woman who cashed in a coin she thought was worth 10 cents for over $75,000 thanks to a minting error. And maybe the most legendary tale? The coin collector who bought a bag of dimes from a bank for $250, sorted them one by one, and pulled out a 1981 D Roosevelt dime with an extremely rare double die strike and full band
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਤੇ
designation.
ਦਸਤਾਨੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਾ ਸੇ
That
ਬਾਜ਼ਾਰ
coin hasn't resurfaced since, but the photos prove it was real. It's still out there. Maybe in someone's drawer. Maybe in your drawer. Section 6. Final thoughts and call to action. So what does this all mean? It means history, mystery, and incredible value might be hiding in plain sight, right inside your coin jar. The 1981 D Roosevelt dime is a symbol of American history, everyday currency, and in rare cases, unimaginable fortune. So take a moment. Dig through that old coffee can, raid the couch cushions, and check every 1981 dime you come across. Look for that deed mint mark. Look for the errors. Check the weight. And if it looks suspiciously flawless or off in any way, send it to a professional grader. You never know, because the next $1 million dime or the next $654 million dime might just be in your hands right now. If you found this video exciting, fascinating, or even just plain mind-blowing, smash that like button, subscribe for more coin treasure tales, and drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin? Until next time, keep your eyes open, your magnifying glass ready, and happy treasure hunting. First, let's rewind the clock. The Roosevelt dime has been in circulation since 1946, introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his death in 1945. He wasn't just any president, he led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, and he was also instrumental in founding the March of Dimes, a campaign to fight polio. So it made perfect sense to place his image on the 10-cent coin. But fast forward to 1977, and you have a year that produced over 800 million Roosevelt dimes at the Philadelphia Mint alone. That's a lot of coins, so what could possibly make a 1977 dime special? Part 2, the basics of the 1977 dime. 2 o'clock, here are the basics. The 1977 Roosevelt dime composition: 91.67% copper, 8.33% nickel weight, 2.27 grams diameter, 17.91 millimeter edge, readed no mint mark if struck in Philadelphia, D or S mint mark if struck in Denver or San Francisco. At face value, this dime is just 10 cents. But in the world of numismatics, that's the fancy term for coin collecting. Errors, condition, and rarity can send a coin's value soaring through the roof. Part 3, what makes some dimes worth thousands? 3:15. So how do we go from 10 cents to $1,000 or even millions? The answer lies in a few key factors. White heavy check mark mint errors. These include off-center strikes, double dies, missing clad layers, broad strikes, and transitional errors. White heavy check mark proof and deep cameo strikes, especially from the San Francisco Mint. These coins can be highly detailed with mirror-like fields and frosted devices. White heavy checkmark high-grade coins, a 1977 dime graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. White heavy checkmark collector demand and market hype. Sometimes rumors or viral stories drive up attention to a specific coin, whether or not the value is justified. Part 4, the myth of the $87 million dime. 5 o'clock. Now here's where things get crazy. If you've scrolled through social media or watched viral YouTube shorts, you might have seen headlines like 1977 Roosevelt dime sells for $87 million or rare dime found in pocket change worth millions. But is that real? Let's set the record straight. As of today, number 1977 Roosevelt dime has ever sold for $87 million. Not even close. The most expensive dimes ever sold include classic rarities like the 1894 S. Barber dime, which sold for over $2 million at auction.so. Where did this $87 million story come from? It's likely a combination of hype, clickbait, and misunderstandings. Some websites inflate values to get attention, while others may be referencing extremely rare error coins hypothetically or out of context. Part 5, Real High Value 1977 Dimes, 730, but that doesn't mean your 1977 dime is worthless. There are some rare and valuable examples out there. For instance, white right pointing backhand index a 1977 D dime with a strong off-center strike in mint state condition could sell for hundreds. White right pointing backhand index a 1977 no mint mark dime with a missing clad layer could fetch over $500. White right pointing backhand index a perfectly preserved 1977 S-proof dime in deep cameo PF70 condition might sell for over $1,000 if the market is hot and if you're lucky enough to find a transitional error, say, a dime struck on a planchette meant for a different coin, it could be worth thousands. Part 6, How to Spot a Valuable Coin, 9 o'clock. Here's what to look for if you think you've got a valuable 1977 Roosevelt dime. Left pointing magnifying glass, check for errors. Look closely for double dies, off-center strikes, or signs of missing layers. Straight ruler, check the edges. A smooth edge instead of reeded could indicate a broad strike error. Gemstone, check the condition. If your coin is nearly flawless, no scratches, great shine, it might be worth grading. Compare with auction sites. Look up completed sales on platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, or PCGS, and most importantly, don't clean your coin. That can destroy its value. Part 7, The Role of Coin Grading, 11 o'clock. Grading is the process that tells you how perfect your coin is. Coins are graded from 1 to 70, with MS70 being a flawless mint state coin. The major grading services like PCGS and NGC can professionally assess your coin. An MS67 Roosevelt dime from 1977 might sell for $100 or more. But an MS68? That's an elite grade, only a few exist, and they can command significantly higher prices. So if your coin looks pristine, you might want to send it in for grading. Yes, there's a fee, but the results could be worth it. Part 8. So, is it worth $87 million? 1 p.m. Let's be real. That 1977 dime in your drawer isn't going to buy you a mansion in Malibu. But that doesn't mean it's not worth checking. You could have an interesting error coin. You could have a high-grade example that collectors would pay top dollar for, but $87 million? That's a myth. No coin from 1977, especially a common circulation dime, has ever reached anywhere near that number. The most expensive coins in the world are usually ancient, made of gold or silver, or struck in extremely low numbers. Still, checking your change is fun. And once in a while, someone really does find a gem. Final thoughts, 1445, microphone hash. So now you know the truth about the 1977 Roosevelt dime. It's not a lottery ticket, but it's still a fascinating piece of American history. Keep an eye out for rare errors, high-grade specimens, and don't believe everything you see on social media. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips and mysteries, and tell us in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket? Microphone hash, could a tiny 10-cent coin make you a millionaire overnight? What if I told you that a simple dime, yes, a Roosevelt dime from 1965, might just be hiding in your pocket right now, and it's worth a jaw-dropping $908 million? Sounds crazy, right? But in today's video, we're diving deep into the unbelievable history, hidden details, collector's frenzy, and the wild market speculation surrounding one of the most mysterious coins in American history. Don't blink, because this story is full of twists, legends, and cold hard cash. Quick sound effect, coin drop, microphone hash. Welcome back to the channel, where we uncover rare coins, hidden treasures, and jaw-dropping collectibles that could be sitting unnoticed in your drawer. If you're new here, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe, because the next coin we talk about might just make you rich. Section 1. The coin itself, microphone hash. Let's start with the star of the show, the 1965 Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it looks like any other coin, small, silver-colored, and often overlooked. It features the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, or front, and a torch flanked by olive and oak branches on the reverse, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. Simple, right, microphone hash, but 1965 wasn't just any year in American coinage history. It marked a major turning point. Due to rising silver prices, the US Mint decided to remove silver from dimes and quarters. Before 1965, dimes were made of 90% silver. After 1965, they were switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition, microphone hash, and that's where the mystery begins. Section 2, the transition and the legend, microphone hash. During this transition, something very strange happened. According to numismatic legends, a tiny number of 1965 Roosevelt dimes were accidentally struck on 1964 silver planchets. That's the silver discs used for coins. These errors, known as transitional errors, are extremely rare, and they send collectors into a frenzy. A microphone hash. Now here's the catch. Most 1965 dimes should have NO silver content. But if you find one that is made of silver, you might be holding a fortune. These rare transition error coins have been known to fetch thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars at auction. Microphone hash. But wait. What about this $908 million rumor? Section 3, the urban legend of the $908 million dime. Microphone hash. The internet has exploded over rumors of a 1965 Roosevelt dime worth $908 million. Viral TikToks, Reddit threads, and clickbait articles all claim that a single dime sold or is valued at nearly $1 billion. So, is it true? Microphone hash. Let's break it down. There is no official record of a 1965 Roosevelt dime selling for $908 million. However, and this is key, rare coins have sold for shocking amounts before. The 1933 Double Eagle sold for over $18 million. The 1794 flowing hair silver dollar? Over $10 million. So while $908 million sounds outrageous, in the speculative world of ultra-rare collectibles, anything is possible. A microphone hash. Some believe this $908 million story began as a meme or misunderstanding. Others say a collector with deep pockets made an offer so high, the seller went silent. Conspiracy? Urban myth? Marketing stunt? No one knows. But the legend lives on, and it's pushed the Roosevelt dime into the spotlight like never before. Section 4, how to spot a valuable 1965 dime. Microphone hash. Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1965 dime is special? Microphone hash. Here's what you need to look for. Weight. A regular 1965 dime weighs about 2.27 grams. A silver dime weighs around 2.5 grams. Use a digital scale. Edge. Most clad dimes have a copper-colored edge. A silver dime? Solid silver edge, no copper visible. Sound. Silver coins have a high-pitched ring when dropped. Clad coins sound dull. Magnification. Check for errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or weak mint marks. These flaws can raise the value dramatically. Certification. If you think you have something special, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Microphone hash. Even if your dime isn't the mythical $908 million version, some 1965 dimes in mint condition have sold for hundreds to thousands of dollars. That's a heck of a return for 10 cents. Section 5, at market value and collector interest. Microphone hash. So what's the real market value of a 1965 Roosevelt dime? For regular examples in circulated condition, not much, maybe a few cents over face value. But for uncirculated or error coins, prices can jump from $50 to over $10,000, depending on rarity and demand. Microphone hash. Coin collectors love transitional years like 1965. Add in errors, silver content, and rumors of impossible wealth, and you've got a recipe for high drama and high prices. Microphone hash. eBay, heritage auctions, and collector forums are flooded with listings, some legit, others not so much. So beware, if someone claims their dime is worth $908 million, ask for proof. It might be hype, or it might be the rarest dime on earth. Closing, call to action plus T's next video, microphone hash. So there you have it, the fascinating story of the 1965 Roosevelt dime. A simple coin with a complex past, a touch of mystery, and the power to drive collectors absolutely wild. Microphone hash. Do you have a 1965 dime in your change jar? Go check. And if you find one that seems unusual, heavy, silver, or just plain odd, don't spend it. You could be sitting on a fortune. Microphone hash. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or want me to investigate the value of one you own. I reply to as many as I can. Microphone hash. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because next time we're diving into the mystery of a coin worth $1.2 million with a hidden error only a few people in the world have ever seen. Microphone hash. Until then, keep your eyes open, your change jars full, and remember, sometimes the tiniest treasures hold the biggest surprises. Outro music fades in, logo animation, END.
भाई ऊंचा बड़ा सिस्टम